Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Catering Circle Season 2. We are back again, and guess what? We have so much lined up for you. We have some great participants and great judges who are really going to grill them today. However, last episode was all about immigration, staff crisis and recruitment. So things went down pretty well last time, but I think they really felt the heat. So let's go and have a recap of the last episode. Welcome to the Catering Circle Season 2.
Episode 9. Immigration, Staff Crisis and Recruitment. Restaurateurs cannot ignore the facts of attrition, why people leave, and you must be aware of costs involved. Create a winning employee retention strategy. Multiple use of labour. For example, one chef can work for 2 to 3 restaurants. Use technology, EPOS, online ordering to reduce labour cost. Train non-Asians and innovate your business with new concept, fusion food, etc. Offer internship and compelling aspects of work culture, training, flexibility, career development and personal growth. Change attitude. Review wage level, benefits, appraisals, annual leave arrangement and management. Paid holiday, sick pay, etc. Ensure long-term job security. Your employees are your company's best asset, and you must protect and nurture them. Do not forget, these are the people who make you look good.
Something that's close to my heart, this staff crisis and recruitment, and see what the effects of immigration will have on the industry.
What kind of problem the individual is facing and how they're coping with the situation.
Why can we not do younger people coming to a restaurant where they can make their own pay package and brand it that way?
The staff that we have, to make sure we retain them and make sure their working atmosphere and the environment they were very, very happy with.
Well, recruiting staff, we recruit local people, you see, so I don't face no problem.
Less flexible time for everyone to enjoy their work. They can be more comfortable with their family.
You need to have a meeting, beginning of the shift, how it works, what we're gonna do, what we've done wrong yesterday or day before, any complaint, and from that we should learn things.
We have always a plan B. So we are always recruiting trainees. We got trainee programs where we recruit people.
I always try to inform them the right information and proper knowledge of how they work in my business and how can I make the success.
I always train them. I always give them annual holiday, which is even I close the restaurant for Eid day.
Make them feel not only they're working there, but they're part of the family and part of the whole institution.
I give it more flexibility, time hours, and more comfortable and more teamwork, and everybody enjoy the work.
I sit down with my staff every evening so that they know what I expect from them.
When I recruit somebody, obviously have an interview with them and find out if they're actually passionate about the food that I'm doing.
I generally use job centers, referral, Facebooks and others advertising for the recruitment.
For the recruitment, I use social media, Gumtree. Especially I use my local college.
We are actually fighting on from the BCA as well as Catering Circle to resolve most of the issues that we have within the catering sector.
If you are doing a good cuisine in a restaurant, then you obviously need right stuff.
1/3 of the entire British Bangladeshi restaurant industry under threat of closure.
We should recruit more young people and we should give them incentive to stay in that industry.
There are companies out there that small business owners can use. They're affordable. They can do all the checks and everything else.
Being fit for today's market.
Yeah.
Much of the restaurant industry is, I have to say, outmoded.
Training has to be theory as well as practical, on-the-job training, as some of the people were talking about.
Technology is the bit, is the aspect which can fill up the gap.
The biggest problem we have in the Indian restaurant sector is very manual, labor intensive.
Less work, make more profit.
Recruiting various different employees, meaning non-Asian. That also plays a big role in my business.
I'm passionate about my company. I recruit people who are passionate about the business as well.
If you did a higher amount, you made a good profit, Give
Yeah.
a percentage to your staff,
Yeah.
make them feel special. Most important, our staff looking for at this point is respect.
A company, a business, a restaurant should be able to sponsor that talent with the help of the government, with a work permit.
So we are going to team up and lobby the government for to address the staff crisis.
It is time for the results. I have the results right here in my hand. Are you ready? The two that are making it through: Grilled on Wheels, congratulations, and Samra London. However, if you missed the episode, don't forget you could go on to the Channel S YouTube channel and look back at the Catering Circle and watch all the episodes that you have missed. And of course, this show is all about you as well, so you can be a part of it as well. All you've got to do is tweet us at Catering Circle and send us your suggestions and questions, and we will try and read them out live on air. So, you know how this works. We have 8 participants and they'll all be battling it out today to make it. Only 2 will make it through to the business conference in 2018. And to actually make that dream come true, we have our judges, we have our panel judges and special judges. Let's go and meet our panel judges. Welcome to the show. So firstly, I have with me, Walaikum Salam, I have with me Ahmadul Samad Chowdhury, JP. Now, he's the chairman of Channel S Television, chief advisor to Catering Circle. And really, if I stay here and go on about how much you've done for the community, I'll be here forever. But you've played a really key role when it came to the curry industry and building a bridge between the curry industry and this country. So we really, really thank you for being a pioneer.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. And right next to him, we have Professor David Foskett, MBE. Now, he is a professor at the University of West London in England, and he is a member of the Academy of Culinary Arts and Craft Guild of Chefs. In 2015, he served as head judge at the first International Young Chef Olympiad. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Pleasure.
And next to him, last but not least, we have Mr. Faisal Ahmed, who's the chairman of British Bangladeshi Business Forum and a multi-outlet operator. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we move on, today's episode is all about competition and sustainability. So I'm going to start with Mr. Ahmadul Samad Chowdhury. If I could ask you, how should they be answering this question? When we're talking about success stories, because the first round, we have 3 rounds. The first round is about sharing their success stories around competition and sustainability. What are you expecting
I think
from them?
overall, I would be looking for the competition area.
Yeah.
Because the competition area is fierce. We all know that when there is a successful business, a restaurant or a takeaway, then our community members, they just go and open another one there. So, and also then there is the delivery, there is the other Just Eat and so on and so forth. And above all, the supermarkets are supplying, serving food now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have an advantage there. Our food is fresh. So I would be looking for the best presenter and how they're sustaining their business. Thank you.
And keeping their customers, of course. I'm going to go straight to Professor David. Now, if I could ask you, what are you expecting from this episode today? What would you like to say to the participants?
Well, I would like to see very clearly a vision for their restaurant, how they're going to make it sustainable and how they're going to stand out. The high street is flooded with competition, but can we learn from previous successes? I think we can. What have they learned from their research? And what is their vision to be different, to have a unique selling point that actually I want to go to their restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. So maybe wear a hat. If they've got a fancy hat with them, they should have brought that with them today. Moving on to Mr. Faisal Ahmed, what tips would you like to give to these businessmen that are coming on today?
Well, good afternoon to you all. Well, my tips would be especially running restaurant. There's so many markets nowadays open, as you know, social media, newspaper, local newspaper, and this and that. But mainly, if you're running a village, most of the restaurants are village area. Village area depend on the village people, word of mouth, what you sell, what product you're selling, and our chairman already mentioned about the competition is like big company.
Absolutely.
They're selling a lot of product cheaper version. So how are we going to make our brand? Our chef make this brand, especially as a fresh food. If you sell fresh food, and nowadays if you look at the hygiene rating as well, TripAdvisor, what's
there's lots of
talking
other
about
sites,
your restaurant. If you are not maintaining all these things, you are automatically coming into the market. They can look at your rating. So I think all this side should be looked at it thoroughly.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Now, these panel judges right here, they hold 60% of the votes. That's quite a lot. So you have a lot of work to do. Have your pen and paper ready, because you definitely have to take lots of notes today. And for those of you at home, let's go and check out everything we need to know about today's topic.
Episode 10. Competition and sustainability. Competition within the catering industry and the survival of the curry houses. In a highly competitive business landscape, prepare for war with innovation, marketing, branding, continuous learning and development, wow factors, and oomph. Market and competition ignorance guarantee restaurants' failure. Set your menu prices carefully. Keep food costs under control. Strike the right market price to keep customers coming back. Retarget your market to win a price war. Choose a competitive advantage, focusing on 3 key areas: quality, price, service. Excite your customers. Be special in your customers' eyes. Have a unique selling proposition and set your business apart. USP expresses the core special elements of your business in a few words, like British chicken tikka in slimming masala. Create a killer USP. Overcome your flu? Have a hot vindaloo. USP should describe one or more of the following: price, quality offered, exclusivity, service, any other aspect of your business that sets it apart from the competition. Ask yourself why you're different. Ask your clients, suppliers, and regular customers why they come to your restaurant. USP won't appeal to all potential clients. You cannot reach everyone. Focus on a specific segment. He who tries to please everyone will end up pleasing nobody. You have known your weapons for competitive warfare. Equip yourself for war.
There you have it, all you need to know about today's topic. And of course, I hope the participants are totally prepared for this. But of course, we want you to show a bit more. We want you to show that zest. We want you to think deep. And we want you, like we said, we want to know about your USP as well. Now, I'd like to introduce our special guests that are with us today, our special judges. Thank you for joining us. Now, they hold 40% of the votes, which is quite a lot as well, and you have a lot of work on your hands too. But let me introduce you to them. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Abdul Bangura. Thank you so much for coming back, personal trainer from South End and also the owner of Fresco Box. Thank you for coming, and I'm sure you've got lots to tell us. Right next to him, we have Mr. Anamir, a renowned businessman, has many cuisines, and also a part of the Jubaraj group in Cardiff, and you've also been involved in various community and charity organisations. Thank you so much for joining us. Next to him we have Mr. Wasim Sherwani, and he is the Director of Training at Welcome Skills, who won the National Katie Awards for Education and Training in 2017. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you can share lots of tips when it comes to training. And right next to him we have a very well-known face that's been a friend of the Catering Circle this season, Mr. Ruhul Shamsuddin, the executive member of Catering Circle, and also has many restaurants himself and a very, very successful businessman. Thank you so much for joining us. And next to him we have Mr. Saidur Rahman Bipul, the Chief Treasurer of BCA and also a successful entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us. And back again we have Mr. Benji Massarin, the owner of Make Ish Happen. I love that name, by the way. Explain the Make Ish Happen.
Well, it's pretty much what we do. So So we work with different music artists across the board, including one which is probably quite well known in this space, which is a guy called Zach Knight.
Excellent.
So yeah, we make things happen. That's what we do for our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We also have Mr. Halal Malik, a very well-known face as well on the Catering Circle, executive member of the Catering Circle and a successful entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us today. And last but not least, we have Mr. Mahboob Rahman, TV chef and YouTuber, 15 years of experience as a chef, and you've done so much, and it's so great to have you here with us today, and I'm sure you can share your success stories with us too. Thank you very much for joining us. That is our special judges done. Let's tick them off, and of course our panel judges. What's left now? The participants. Let's go check them out. Paprika couldn't be with us today. They for unforeseen circumstances. So we do actually have 7 participants with us today. So in the first round, we'll be saying goodbye to only 1 of the participants and taking forward 6 to the second round, and so on to the first round. So should we get started on today's competition? I'm super excited. Just hold back, sit tight. Here's round 1. The first round is all about the competition and sustainability, and I have with us our first participant. Welcome to the show from Zafran, Mr. Abdul Sabur. Thank you so much for joining us, and are you ready? Yes? Look a bit nervous. Not nervous? No? Nervous. You've got to be totally strong, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely ready for this competition.
Yes, of course.
That's what I want to hear. There we are. Let's give him a round of applause for being the first one up. So, sir, you have 120 seconds, and you have to talk about everything to do with competition and sustainability. Please keep in mind everything that our panel judges have said when answering this question. It's all about your success stories around that topic. So I'm going to let you know when your time starts, and just for our audience at home, Mr. Sabur has given us this for us to look through. So thank you very much. So we've got his leaflet and we've got some newspaper articles right here about his restaurant. So without any further ado, your time starts now.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. My name is Mr. Abdul Sabur. I'm owner of Zafran Indian Takeaway from Southern Sea. And about the success, I started first, that takeaway was a zero. And I took myself as a good chef, and I created for the locals good curries and always quality. And then slowly, local people knows, and then local people invited the media, and media involved with me, and media made me success. Also our Channel S also gave me a platform to success to a Spice House. Spice House first program, I done it on Channel S, and I had about 50,000 viewers in there. Then I came onto the BBC Essex, and I got 1.5 million viewers in there.
And why did you come onto these channels?
Because of I provide qualities. My customer love to eat my curries. When I create something, I always research on my curries. I doesn't go with the old days, my daddy's style. I create by myself new dishes, new impressions, so people knows Abdul is creating new dishes. I was in the 2012 on BBC MasterChef. I was runner-up on the first round. So all my certificates you can watch on my website.
Excellent. Is there anything you'd like to add around sustainability?
And I would say everybody, if you want to success in the curry industry, you have to raise your price up. You cannot stick with one price, because I'm a takeaway. I cannot raise much. If I was a restaurant, I would sell my chicken tikka masala £25.
Excellent. Thank you so
On a takeaway, if I sell it, say over £7, nobody will say it's like first thing is you have to provide the quality service, quality. You have to have a ethos in there. You have to track your customer when they come in regular or not.
Mr. Sabu, I'm going to let you finish this sentence, thank you very, very much. Thank you. Next up from Bombay Express, I have Mr. Rayhan Uddin. And again, the same thing goes for you. Please keep in mind that you are here to talk about your competition and sustainability. You have a crowd with you. There you are.
Indeed.
That's what we want.
Yes.
Your time starts now.
Okay, so at the Bombay Express, what we do is we looked at produce, and we looked at having it outsourced. So we have peeled onions that come into the restaurant, as well as peeled garlic, cut poultry and lamb. The idea behind that was to take the time management away from the kitchen. We now run with a two-man kitchen. That is unheard of in our industry. We looked at what we could save money with, which is the sustainability part, and that was about looking at time management and the cost of recruits, including accommodation and food, which can amount to £137 on average per person. Right here you have saving is your profit. That is key. Margins and profitability is key to what you do. TripAdvisor is something that I respond to all the time. Very personal, very factual, and hilarious. You've got to check it out. The idea behind what I do in terms of homegrown talent is we invested into the college. Now the college brewed homegrown talent in the first Indian cookery course that was helped by Dipna Anand, Alam Shah Ullah in the house, and also Soiful Alam on the Mint Room. We discovered that homegrown talent is the only way forward. I am the only restaurant that I know of with a full British front of house. And talking about, obviously, what we've talked about here from the judges and what they're looking for sustainability is the fact that the menu is so clear-cut, fresh, and easy to manage with time consistency, but with high quality and emphasis on delivery to the customer so they return again. What we did do was implement a reward scheme as well, also Swipey, which will bring them back, they earn points and they redeem them. Spending money with me earns you things back, which is where I keep my customer retention. The whole concept being Asian textile, which is what we brand on our menus, and also the first ever British Asian flag to entice the youth culture, not just into hospitality, but sports and entertainment. So this is where I move forward with things that I do, and I hope the judges will find that this is something that they can mark highly.
Thank you very much. Very strong.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you still had 10 seconds left, so well done on that. Next up, from Spice Hut, we have MD Walia Rahman Chowdhury, and I'd like to invite you onto the stage, sir. And it is the same thing for you, the same question around competition and sustainability. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. I'm Oliur Rahman Chaudhary, Kent Maidstone Spice Hut. I started business in 1998. I've always tried to my quality. I didn't target my profit. I always targeted my quality. I always try to good relation with customer. When they comes, personally, I talk to them about about sports, with them family, with their family. I always targeted them with personal relation, and food, especially food. I always try to fresh food to provide, and something special, uncommon, and I never try to expensive price. Normally, I did targeted this reasonable price. So who afford this? Normally, this is ordinary people. This is who afford the price.
Yeah.
I always keep in my mind the normal price, reasonable price, not high expensive. So that's why I think I did quite good result.
Excellent.
And I find this is a good response with customer, so they always come back.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
No? Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next up from Rajput, I have Mr. Nazmul Haq. Naz, welcome. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, bismillah. I'm very good. Thank you.
Are you
My
ready?
name is Naz Haq, and I'm from Rajput Restaurant in Benfleet, Essex.
And your time starts now.
Thank you. Right, competition is everywhere in the market. Not only curry industry, every industry is suffering from the competition. But the main thing is to sustain in the competitions. If you sustain in the competition, you are survivor. To sustain in the competition, you have to design your menu firstly, very nicely you design your menu, and you have to work out about saving on your prices. You set up your prices, and all you have to do is like you have to cut other third parties like Just Eat and all other things who take the percentage. Basically, if you do work with your own website, you don't have to pay 15% or 10%, whatever, right? I've been doing this restaurant for last 10 years, and when I opened the restaurant in 2008, it was high on recession. A lot of customers locally and the people, friends and family, who was quite surprised. And a lot of people were saying that you're not going to be surviving that long. But mashallah, I've been doing all these years so far, and you have to look after your customers. You have to think about your product, what you selling, good quality, and you need to retain your customers. I locally support a lot of football teams, our sponsors, and all the golf clubs and things like that, and I'll get repeat customers from that. And this is the key point to survive. Depends what you're buying, what price you're paying, basically, to sustain in a business. Right. If you're doing a bulk buying, you can save some money on that, so you can sustain longer in the business. And you have to set up your menu competitively from your area, whatever other restaurants. You have to search on your local competitors, what they're doing, what type of price they're doing. And at the moment is like biggest competitor is another different cuisine coming to our market, like Turkish cuisine is competing in our Indian food very muchly.
Yep. I'm going to ask you to just finish up.
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Next up from Saffron, Mr. Abdul Hussain. If I could ask Mr. Abdul Hussain to make his way, and whilst he makes his way, just a quick reminder, don't forget you can also be a part of it. All you've got to do is tweet us at Catering Circle. So I have Abdul Hussain here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. And your time starts now.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me.
Alaikum
And
Charcoal Catering. My name is Mr. Abul Hussain. My restaurant is Saffron Indian Diner. It's located in Sidcup, middle of Bexley, Sidcup and Bexley Heath. So I run this business. I've got lots of customers. I look after my customers every time, and they will be back again with their families, friends, and everyone. So when I serve the customers, I spoke to them for my food. How's my food? They like my food, and then they talk to others people's. And this is my busy area. When they drive and then see my sign, and they come in my restaurant and they taste my food, and then they will be back again. And in meantime, when I serve the food, this is very important for Indian restaurant. Food quality. So if it is your Indian restaurant food good quality, customer will be back. I believe if it is Indian restaurant, if it is food is good, customer will be back. Whatever is money wise, could be £1, 150, more or less is totally different. But Indian restaurant, if you give them good food, customers will be back. I believe it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next up, Taj Tandoori, Mr. Jalal Saeed.
Assalamualaikum. And I have my brother with me as well, so it's actually two of us. Double trouble.
Double trouble, that's what I was about to say. Just don't hold hands or start crying.
No.
All right. Your time starts now, sir.
So, we're from Taj Tandoori in Cambridge, and we've been established since 1986, so we've been going strong for about 30 years. And what it is, we took the controversial decision in 2009 to go BYOB, to get rid of the alcohol from the restaurant. So when we did that, we had to do something different to stand out from the crowd to survive. And we tried a lot of things, and we did a lot of research on the menus in Cambridge, and we found that one of the things was that 80 to 90% of the menus throughout all the restaurants were pretty similar, and we were trying to then create a new menu that had some things that no one else had, and that's what we did. We looked at lots of different regions of India and tried out dishes and things like that, and we put in some dishes, some signature dishes that no one else was doing in Cambridge, and we tried to promote them in the restaurant, and we found that was quite good, and it was very successful for us. Like it was a dal makhni from Punjab that we recreated, and in the menu we described what it was, a bit more how the cooking process, where it came from, and things like this. And we found that our customers responded very well to it, and that they would return for that dish, which they would not find anywhere else. They'd tell a few other people and things like that. And
also, on top of that, as of yesterday, I think we're the #1 TripAdvisor Indian restaurant in Cambridge. Which we're really proud of, and I think the reason behind that is every customer that walks through our door, we make sure that they've had a good service, good quality food, and going back to the same thing again, we wouldn't feed our customers anything which we wouldn't eat ourselves, which means it has to be good quality cut meats, fresh, and on top of that, when the customers leave, we really make sure that they leave a review for us, because those reviews make a huge difference to us, especially because Cambridge is a city, so the fluctuation of people coming in is over 1 million. So those reviews make a world of a difference to our business. So from that perspective, we can't thank things like TripAdvisor enough.
Well, another thing we did with our deliveries was we did...
I'll let you finish this sentence.
Okay, just so with our deliveries...
No, finish this sentence, it's fine.
So with deliveries, what we started doing was we started giving the after 8 minutes that you'd usually only give in the restaurant, and the wet wipes with it, and it was something that worked really well. It was something that was unique, that people are like, that's cool, that restaurant, they give the wet wipes on the after 8s with your delivery and stuff, so it was something that worked quite well as well. It was something unique that made us stand out from the competition. So.
Excellent, thank you so much, thank you, appreciate it. Last but not least, we have the Curry Garden, and we have Mr. Haider Hussain. So if I could ask Mr. Haider Hussain to please make his way. And the same thing for you, sir. Your time starts now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm from Curry Garden, Basildon, Essex, and I would like to speak Bengali.
Yep, please আপনি বাংলায় কথা বলেন আমি পরে ট্রান্সলেট করব
বাঙালি কথাটা কোয়ার কারণ হইল যে আমরা কারি ইন্ডাস্ট্রির বেশিরভাগ বাঙালি এর কারণে তো আমার কারি গার্ডেনটা আমরা যখন শুরু করি তখন ভিজিটে এত কম ছিল দেন আমরা এখন মাশাআল্লাহ খুব ভালো করি তো করার কারণটা হইল আমার স্টাফ যারা আছে আমরা ফ্যামিলি ওয়ার্ক আমার ভাই বিরাদদের লইয়া আমি করি আর যারা আমার স্টাফ আছে তারা আমি আমার ভাইয়ের মতন মনে করি তো কারি গার্ডেনের একটা জিনিস আছে আপনার গুড উইল আছে যেটা আপনার ডেলিভারি টাইম শুড বি মেনটেনেন্স আর ডেলিভারি ড্রাইভার তখন আমি আপনার ফ্ল্যাট রেটে পে করতাম এখন আমি এক পাউন্ড করে পার ডেলিভারি দিই তখন আমার দেখা যায় ডেলিভারিটা অনেক সকাল জায়গা তো আশা রাখি আগামীতে আমরা আরও ইমপ্রুভ করবো
আর কিছু অ্যাড করতে চান অ্যারাউন্ড কম্পিটিশন আপনি আপনার কম্পিটিশন যারা আপনার পাশে আছে তাদের সাথে কিভাবে আপনি আপনার বিজনেসটাকে রান করেন So with other competitions, so যারা আপনার competitors আপনার পাশে আপনার রেস্টুরেন্টের পাশে আর কোনো রেস্টুরেন্টস আছে
আমার রেস্টুরেন্টের পাশে প্রত্যেকটা ফ্রাইডে যে প্রায় 1 মাইল পর পর রেস্টুরেন্ট আছে
আচ্ছা
কিন্তু আমার চেয়ে তারা ভালো করতে পারে না
আচ্ছা কেন পারে না
কেন পারে না আমার খানির কোয়ালিটিটা একটু মেনটেনেন্স আমরা গুড ওয়েতে করি ফ্রেশ খানিটা দেই আর টাইমটা মেনটেন করি এগুলাই মানে একটা ব্যবসার জন্য মেইন ইম্পর্টেন্ট যে আপনার কি পয়েন্ট যে শেফ আপনার কোয়ালিটি থাকতে হবে
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Mr. Haider Hussain, I will debrief the judges a bit later on, but those of you at home, if you didn't understand, please ask for some help to translate, or I'll just quickly summarize it. Mr. Haider Hussain was talking about his competitors. He first spoke about his success story in working in his restaurant with his family members and making it a huge success. He also, once I prompted him, he spoke about competition around him and why his restaurant is different. He mentioned that his food is totally different to others around him. There's a restaurant every other door down the road, right? That's what he was saying with regards to his restaurant. And his one is different because his food is different, his food is tasty, and his chef works really hard to make sure that the customers get fresh food. Oh, I think I deserve an award for that. But thank you so much. And of course, that was our 7 participants in the first round. Now it is time for the judges to feel the heat because this is where you have to make your judgment. But whilst you do that, I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a quick break. And welcome back to the Catering Circle Season 2. I'm Nadia Ali, your host for this show. And of course, I still have with me our panel judges and our special judges. The judgment has taken place, and whilst we wait for the results, I'm going to actually speak to our special judges, and I'm going to start with Mr. Anamir. Now, it's a hard competition, you know, they have 120 seconds, that's all they have. They have 120 seconds and they've got to answer about competition and their sustainability. How well do you think they did?
Assalamu alaikum everybody, and good evening to you, Nadia, as well. Yes, I think they have done extremely well. It is a very tough competition, and for the fact that they only have 120 seconds to portray their message and their targets and their aims and objectives is a very tough environment. But having said that, they have done extremely well, but I thought they lacked, some of them lacked a little bit on the innovative side, and also how to sustain the sustainability of a business. You can work very hard to make your business a success, but it's much even harder to be able to keep it and to stay at the level that you have reached, and that's something I think the competitors need to concentrate upon. And any successful business or businessman will say it's hard getting to the top, but it's even harder to stay up there.
And when you talk about they didn't think innovatively or they missed out points. Can you give us examples? What were you looking for?
Well, yes. I mean, menu choosing, changing menus regularly, and introducing new ideas, and seeing what your competitors are doing, and researching all the time, and trying to stay on top of the game, and to keep your self above the competition, and let others follow your lead rather than you following them. And there are many different, I mean, I could go on for a long time, but there are many ways to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to come straight to Professor David. Now, competition, sustainability, you gave them some tips right at the beginning.
Yes.
What you were looking for. Do you feel they answered the questions?
Well, first of all, I've got to say congratulations. It's not easy to get up there and in 120 seconds. I felt there was a lot lacking in many of the presentations in terms of, for example, the overall sustainability. You know, we've heard about how it is to run a business, but to sustain it is very difficult. But what I did see, I saw a couple of some really innovative thinking, and they're thinking outside the box. And one of them in particular was very refreshing to the approach, and it was very good to hear that. But much of it was talking about taste and quality, etc. But that's not about the whole business. The whole business is about the sustainability, you know, about cost control, which came across very strongly in one of them, time management, etc. To keep these costs down, but also keep the customer satisfied. And in competition, what we've got to look at is not just about customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction in the competitive market is old hat.
Yeah.
It's old hat. It's customer delight.
Right.
That's what you've got to look at. How to create that customer delight, but controlling the costs. And there was a couple of there which were very refreshing. One in particular, I think, stood out. Thank
Excellent.
you. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for that. Coming back to our special judges, if I could ask Mr. Wasim Sherwani a question. Now, this is something that I think is quite important when it comes to training your employees, especially in the Indian industry, where you've got competition, you know, left, right, and centre. How important is training?
Training is a very important part of this industry, and as David said, people are looking for an experience in a restaurant. It's not just about the price of the product. They're looking for more than that, for you to make sure you retain your customers. So some of the people who gave wonderful speeches were speaking with passion from their heart. And what they need to do is to train their staff to understand their customers, their products, what are the items on the menu. They need to build a tribal team to improve teamwork, and their passion and their commitment must come across with their staff so that they can create an identity. So the staff must have shared values, and they must benefit from the training so they can perhaps upsell and have an added value to their business. That's the most important thing. It's just not about external training. The internal training that goes on is also very important.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that piece of advice, actually, and those watching at home can also take that advice and contact you. I'm going to come straight back to our panel judges and Mr. Amadus Samad Chowdhury. Now, you know, the next part of our competition is all about pricing, productivity, competition and customer retention. Now, around pricing, what are you expecting the participants to talk about, especially like around menu pricing? You know, what do you want them to say? What are you expecting them to bring to the table today?
Well, what we see and what is happening in every cities and every towns and villages, when the pricing is done, they go for the surrounding areas and what they're doing, and they make their price cheaper than the others. Thus, they're not looking for quality. If they're looking for quality food, different food, innovative food, fresh food, then their price can be higher and people will come for them. So I need to see who does best on that. Then again, the customer retention and the competition as well, and also fresh food. We haven't heard anything about the competition we have in every towns and cities. You know, the supermarkets.
Yeah.
You know, they're killing
food,
us
yeah.
in one way, but they're failing to provide the fresh food, which we are doing. So we have to market that as well, and I want to see, you know, from the presentation who is doing it better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm now going to ask Mr. Faisal Ahmed, when it comes to you know, employee loyalty and customer loyalty, how important is that? And how do we maintain that?
There's the two things. One thing is when it's very important, especially when the customer just arriving, you have to welcoming them. How we welcome? That's the first phase. And then when you take it to a table, then you're ordering one to all when the living place is well. So welcoming to living place, whether how they're happy.
Okay.
So how do you find out? You have to smile with them. You have to feel comfortable with them.
So customer service.
Customer
needs to be
service
very
is
good.
very important. Customer service. Then of course is food is related. Food. So it's plus the which area you are serving. If you serve in a village area, there's the different issues. Customer obviously they're coming here. They know who are you and what you're selling. But if you're a big town, big city, there's a passing trade as well.
Yeah.
So two ways running. One business is word of mouth, is village, is very important. Then another one is city.
Yeah.
Your brand name is how you promote your business, social media, Facebook.
And branding is very important.
All of these things. But it's especially if we sustain in long time in our industry, we need to improve the service. And now question is, what sort of things you improve?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Thank you very much.
Manager.
And keep that in mind to the contestants as well when answering those questions in round 2. I have the results right here and I'm really, really excited about this. And just to quickly remind you again, our panel judges hold 60% of the votes and our special judges hold 40% of the votes. And I guess I have the votes right here to tell you the 6 contestants that will be making it through to round 2 and the 1 contestant that we are going to be saying goodbye to. And the results are, in first place, well actually with 100% of the votes we have 3. We have Bombay Express, Rajput and Taj Tandoori. Congratulations, well done. With 95% of the votes, we have Saffron, and with 85%, we have Zafran, and with 75%, we have Spice Hut. Congratulations to all 6 for making it through to the second round. However, we are having to say goodbye to Curry Garden, but well done for coming this far, and congratulations for being picked to participate in today's competition. Thank you very, very much for that. So here we go, here's round 2. Right, so I have a few questions for you and I'm actually going to ask our special judges to help us out here. So I'm going to go to Mr. Mahbub Rahman. Now, you know, YouTuber, chef, you've done it, you know, you've worked in restaurants. When it comes to pricing, what are you looking out for? So when our participants come on stage today to talk about pricing, to talk about how they focused on their productivity, what are you looking out for? What do you want them to talk about?
Well, personally, every business should have its own target GP, and you should structure your prices on your menu based on that, not based on what's next door.
Yeah.
If you're going to go for quality ingredients, you should be charging quality prices. If you're going to use less quality ingredients, then maybe you can manage in a way. But most important is your gross profit, and you need to think business-wise, how much I'm paying and how much I'm charging.
Excellent, thank you so much. And I'm going to go straight to Mr. Saida Rahman Bipal, and I'm going to ask you now, you know, you're a successful entrepreneur. How important is cost saving in this industry?
It's very important. We all are in a business and we have to save. And if we save money on buying, we'll make more profit on selling. My advice to, well, my opinion and advice to like all business, like should, because we're in digital market, we all should use the EPOS system where you can save money. Also, the buying product, if we buy bulk product, the bulk item, like, and again, it's open market, we should research the pricing, because some of the supplier we use like regularly, they're charging higher, whereas like other supplier charging less, and again, their quality is much better.
Okay.
So yes, the main important is the research and to find out about the pricing.
And actually, just touching on that, I think, I don't know if the panel judges also agree, but we need to talk about things like loyalty cards. We need to talk about how they're retaining their customers, what they have in place. So not just social media, but what you're doing outside of the box when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to retaining those customers or bringing in new customers. Is there anything else that you would like them to concentrate on?
Yes, it does significantly depend on the area. Well, if it is in the high street, like not many customers bother because they come and go.
Okay.
But as
But
other
how
judges
do you
mentioned,
retain those customers?
like which customer?
The customers that come and go, how do you try and bring them back?
Well, I think like if it is, like, as I said, the high street, because most of them are the foreigner, they come and go. Whenever they come, they pop in. Whenever they're not, they're not.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you
That's
very
right. Thank
much
you.
for that. Okay, I think we've got all the tips we needed, and I think it is time to put them under the grill again and see how well they do. So here's round two. First up from Zafran, I have Mr. Abdul Sabur. So please put your hands together and give him a warm welcome. Thank you so much. And just a quick reminder, you do have 60 seconds at this round. Gets shorter and shorter. You have 60 seconds, and please keep in mind what the panel judges have said and what the special judges have said. So I want you to really focus on various ways of your pricing, your productivity, your competition, and how you retain those customers. So I want you to think about that, and I want you to answer that in 60 seconds. All right? Brilliant, Mr. Sabur, your time starts now.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mr. Abdul Sabur. I'm from Zafran Indian Takeaway from Southern Sea. It's saying about the menu pricing. Menu pricing, if you are a restaurant, it's a different job. If you are a takeaway, it's a different job. Takeaway, you have to stay with your limit. You can't go over the limit. In a restaurant, if you are running a restaurant, if I run in a restaurant out selling my chicken tikka masala 25 quid. And on a takeaway, it's a different matter because you have to compete with the others and you have to stay with your limit. So you cannot go higher than others. And you have to be good onto the menu. How is your menu look like? How is your presentation? Your menu, when it goes through the door, when the customer picks up your menu, anybody picks up, he has to look at your menu, not to throw in the bin. So it has to be a quality. Second thing is the EPOS, how you look after your customer and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you finish this sentence because 60 seconds is over.
Thank you.
But I'll let you, finish your sentence.
Main important is in a takeaway is an EPOS. If you don't have an EPOS, you can't track your customer. How many customers coming to your shop? How many customers is not coming? How are you going to email your customer? This is the most important thing. Without a EPOS, you cannot track your customer on the takeaway. Because I'm a takeaway runner, I'm a restaurant runner. Thank you
very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I like the fact that you touched on the EPOS system and how important it is to email those customers. Next up from Bombay Express, I have Rayhan Uddin. You're fired up, dude. You're totally ready, aren't you?
Let's go get this.
All right, 60 seconds start now.
Okay, so I got all the restaurateurs in my local area. We put them together. We developed a buying group. We compared with all our local suppliers. They then came back to us with the best price. Until we were happy and satisfied, we settled with those. And we still compare and contrast. The other things that we went on and did is we developed ARON, Asian Restaurant Owners Network, which you'll find on Facebook. It encompasses all the Asian restaurants from the southwest up to Scotland. So not only do we compare locally, we compare nationally with recipes and otherwise. We're all linked up. It's a great unit you should definitely join. Moving on, Swipey is my reward scheme in my restaurant. It's a key tag with a key fob. You come in, swipe in, tags you in, and you enter your email address, so I've got all your information, and then what happens then is you get points. Those points turn into prizes. So those prizes are then equated into a free drink. You also get 500 points, you get a meal with me. How much more do you want? So the idea behind what I'm doing is trying to entice the customers, not just with the charisma, but also with the food, the menu status, which is fresh, clean and enticing, and with signature dishes that you won't find anywhere else. Bombay Express is the forward vision of British Indian cuisine.
Wow, brilliant. I just have to say that was like bang on point when it came to your 60 seconds, so well done on that. And actually, I've got to say something else. We have Benji here, who's who manages. So I think Benji, if you're looking for a curry house wrapper, you have it right there. All right. So next up from Spicer, I have Mr. Waliur Rahman Chowdhury. If I could ask you to please make your way on stage.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening again. I'm Mr. Waliur Rahman Chowdhury, Spice Hut, Ken Mayston.
Your time starts now.
Spice Hut, Ken Mayston. I'm Mr. Waliur Rahman Chowdhury. আমি একটু বাংলা কথা বলে অসুবিধা নেই?
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই বলো।
আসলে আমি বিশেষ করে যে আমার এরিয়া ফার্স্ট আমি টার্গেট আমি দেখি যে আমার এরিয়াটা যে হাউ কাস্টমার ইজ এফোর্ড দ্য প্রাইস। যখন দেখি আমার মিডল ক্লাস যখন দেখি আমার কাস্টমার মিডল ক্লাসটা বেশি, তখন ওই হিসাবে টার্গেট করে আমি প্রাইসটা ফিক্সিং করি। তারপরে এই পোস্টটা আমি নর্মালি খুব আমার কাছে খুব ভালো লাগে, আমি ইউজ করি। সব ডাটা বেসটা কালেকশন করতে আমাদের জন্য খুব ভালো হয়। তারপরে যখন অ্যাড্রেসগুলো সব কালেকশন হয়, আমরা পার্সোনালি আমি ইমেল করি, টেক্সট করি, এবং যখন ফ্যামিলি কাস্টমার, বিশেষ করে ফ্যামিলি কাস্টমার যখন আসে, তাদের সাথে খুব ভালো সম্পর্কটা করার চেষ্টা করি। এবং যখন অনেক সময় তাদের অকেশনালি বার্থডে আসে, ম্যারেজ অ্যানিভার্সারি আসে তখন আমি পার্সোনালি তাদেরকে কার্ড পোস্ট করি।
Excellent.
এটাই বিশেষ করে আমি এগুলো সামাজিকভাবে আমি ট্রাই করি তাদের সাথে রিলেশনটা তাদের সাথে সম্পর্কটা গাঢ় করার জন্য, ভালো করে মজবুত রাখার জন্য। এবং তার লাস্টলি আমি বলবো যে বিশেষ করে যে এভরি কোয়ার্টারলি আমাদের মেনুটা চেঞ্জ করা দরকার, নতুনত্ব নিয়ে আসার জন্য।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to ask Mr. Malik to just to translate for Benji for me, and I will ask Mr. Animir to please help out Abdul right there to just translate for us. And if I could ask the panel judges to also just translate for David right there, Professor David. Thank you very much. Next up, if I could ask from Rajput,
Assalamu alaikum, bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Najmul Haq Naz.
My name is Naz Haq from Rajput in Benfleet, South
And your time starts now.
Thank you. When I set up the menu, obviously I look through the other competitors, and also I think about my liability and everything, and what I'm supplying, the quality of food I'm serving to the customers. I can't obviously compare the menu with like supermarket, because they do the frozen food and we cook the freshly food every day. And also I compare with my restaurant decor, ambience and locations, and obviously I do some special promote for the customers, like I do a midweek special which they can get a 4-course meal for a very reasonable price, and my customer really appreciate it. And I've been doing this for last 3-4 years. And I have return customers come in. I have loyalty card, which given to customers. So every time they visit, they get points. We have the same things as the other brother mentioned, swiping things. We swipe the card, not the tag, basically. So it's tell my record how many customers comes within the month. I have about
I'm
10,000.
going to let you finish this.
Yeah, I have about 10,000 customer in database. So we inform them by email, by sending text messages, and that's all basically.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very, very much. Next up, from Saffron, I have Mr. Abul Hussain. Welcome back. Your time starts now.
Thank you for give me another 30 seconds. And assalamu alaikum.
60.
Oh,
You have 60.
60 seconds. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum again. Especially Indian restaurant, I believe, who have a local village area restaurant, all customers like local peoples. So you have to look after them, especially whoever come first time. If they like your restaurant fresh, clean and nice, they will be back. And if you give them, obviously, this is very important things, like when they does delivery, if it is goes excellent service, then you can do good business. And my restaurant, what I can say, I've got database EPO systems, I've got lots of customers, and I've got with them personal telephone numbers and email address. So after 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, I give them promotion food.
Excellent.
And after 1 month,
I'm going to let you finish on that last statement.
2 tables, 3 tables for complimentary food for them.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I need to be in that village to get complimentary food. Last but not least, from Taj Tandoori, I have Mr. Jalal Saeed. And brother, so I'm sorry, which one of you is your Jalal Saeed? You're Jalal Saeed,
yeah,
and you are?
Aminul Saeed.
Aminul Saeed. There we have it.
Yeah, that's right.
They come together. Take it away. You have 60 seconds.
Thank you. Firstly, just wanted to talk about retaining customers. In order to retain customers, we try to include a personal touch with our customers. So if somebody comes in, say it's their birthday or something, then we tend to, throw in like a cake with a bigger fountain sparkler or something, because it makes all the difference. Second of all, the other thing is people have loyalty schemes and they have like the swipe cards and things like they're saying. Well, for us, what we tend to do is, with our regular customers, we know what they like to eat. So we might throw in an onibaji here or a sagalu, and that goes very, very far in our business.
In terms of costing, we just want to say that we did a little assessment of our local area, looked at the demographics and looked at what sort of customers were becoming within a 2-mile radius of our restaurant, and we found that these were quite affluent people, and we kind of made our menu according to that. And because we weren't selling alcohol, we always said that we will try and maintain a 65 to 70% GP. And based on that, we were like creating dishes, we were like actually measuring out like the weight of chicken and things like that. And some things we had higher profit margins, some we had lower, but overall we made sure that we maintained a 65 to 70% GP, and that is the thing that's made us sustain our restaurant without even having alcohol. So
I'm going to let you finish that off. Is there anything else?
Yeah, no,
That's
thank
it.
you.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well done. It's my birthday next month. I'll be coming for a birthday cake. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's it. We've had our 6 participants come on and take part in round 2. And I've got to say, it was pretty good. And I think they did take into consideration everything the judges had to say. So I'm pretty impressed. But I will let the judges make their decisions, because it is up to you, where our special judges hold 40% of the votes and our panel judges hold 60% of the voting. We will be losing 2 of the contestants in the next round, and whilst they make their decision, I think we'll take a quick break. And welcome back to the Catering Circle Season 2. I'm Nadia Ali, your host for this show, and I still have our 8 very special judges and our 3 very strong panel judges. So I'm going to come straight to Mr. Ahmad Samad Chaudhry, and I'm going to ask you, you know, the competition's pretty good. It's really heated. They're on fire. They want to win. Who's been your favorite? Can I ask you that? Ooh. Oh, okay. I thought I could catch you out. I thought I could catch you out there. So we're moving on to our next topic, which is on cost saving and revenue increase. Now, this part of the round 3, this is the part where they get really confused because, you know, they've spoken about pricing. They've touched on it, should I say? They've touched on it. What is it that they really need to focus on when it comes to cost saving?
I'll be looking for the presenter to say about the portion control, quality of spice, and also another thing we notice in Indian restaurants, everywhere you go, except few who are adopted, you see a very long menu.
Yeah.
So customers as well get confused, and the restaurateur has to have a bigger storage area to stock, you know, all the items and everything. So I would be looking for the presenter who has shrunk his menu, have less items on his menu, so that he can specialize on his dishes.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm going to come to our special judges, and if I come to Mr. Halal Malik. Now, when it comes, you know, we just spoke about pricing, and we talked about productivity, we talked about competition. Now, there were areas which I felt they missed out on. I mean, they didn't really, there were a few contestants or participants that didn't actually talk about the social media that they use and how that's helped them with regards to competition. Do you think there's anything else that they missed out on?
Hi Nadia, thanks. I think very simple. I think some of the contestants touched on local marketing, helping with the schools and the actual clubs, the football clubs and everything else. At the same time, there's Christmas, there's themed events, Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's. It would be nice to actually see some of the contestants talk about what they do on these theme nights, as well as when you look at customer retention, it's about why does a customer come back? And really, a lot of these restaurateurs and takeaways, it's about, yes, it's about their food, but no one's actually spoke about how they monitor the response or the feedback they get from customers.
Yeah.
And that would be
Can
very,
you,
very
can
important.
you think of ways, well, for those that are watching at home actually, because obviously the catering circle is to help all restaurateurs. So those that are at home, can you think of ways how they can keep those information and how they can utilize it?
Obviously, a lot of the contestants today spoke about using data mining and data capture.
Right.
Now, to actually maximise that, obviously they've got their contact details. It's actually sending out the message, whether they've got an offer on or a theme night, or maybe even organise a food festival. These things would help. So it's entirely up to them how they use their work.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm going to come straight through to to Professor David Foskett. Now, do you feel, I know you gave them some advice, what you were looking out for. I think they missed out on quite a few points that you had asked them to answer. So for the next round, which is all about cost saving and revenue increase, can you break it down for us? What are you looking at?
When one looks at the hospitality of restaurants, it's a business, and I'm looking for what is the operational control, how that is linked to menu policy and return on investment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So keep that in mind. It's all about how you actually utilize that and make it into an investment. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask Abdul Bangura now. Now, you're the owner of Fresco UK, and how do you deal with cost saving and revenue increase? Can you share some tips with us?
So with Fresco Box, how we utilize cost saving is by making sure everything in the kitchen is down to a T in terms of how we make the food, our suppliers, making sure the staff know everything that needs to be done in order to make sure the customer gets what they want. Now, this can be done in a number of ways. It can be done by cutting down the number of staff and making sure people know what they're doing. And there's a number of ways that it can be done, but that's how I do it at First Cut Box.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Last but not least, our panel judge, if I could ask Mr. Ahmed to tell me, now when we talk about cost saving and revenue increase, you know, being a businessman yourself, how important is it to retain your employee? Because if we lose our employees, training them, finding new employees, that's costs. So how do we work around that?
Well, there's the two ways. What sort of saving every single way? Employee plus premise. How to, like at the moment, all the energy bill is going very high because of the free market. So you have to look at this side thoroughly. And also we have a lot of equipment we use in a kitchen, front, everywhere, fridge, freezer. We have to use all this, also bulb as well, low energy bulb. A lot of way we can save. Also, there's another thing, two things coming in one. You can save the waiter, plus you can build your confidence to the customer, like printing. If you handwriting, all like we write a lot of things, you can't read it. So if you present it, presentation is very important. If we present the bill, and also if you go to the customer, drinks and papadam and food, everything in. Also price coming up with the printer as well. Excellent. So it can save a lot of things if you look at a lot of area to be saved.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I do hope that you've all taken that into consideration. Now it is time for the results, and which 4 of today's participants are going to make it through to the last round. And this is where we're going to find our 2 winners that will get the ticket to the business conference in 2013. And the results are... Oh, 2018, I'm sorry. Forgive me, I've just gone back years, there we are. So 2018, I'm excited about the results. So here we go. And the results are... In first place, we have Rajput, also Taj Tandoori, with 95% of the votes. Congratulations. And then in second, third place, we have Bombay Express with 80%. Well done. And in fourth place, we have Spice Hut with 60%. And they will be making it through to our next round. Congratulations. However, we are having to say goodbye to Zafran and Saffron. Thank you so much for being a part of the competition. It's been great having you, and congratulations for coming this far. But we have our 4 that have made it through to round 1. I'm getting all tongue-tied right now. I think it's the heat of the competition that's getting to me. It is round 3, of course, and this is where we actually find our 2 winners that will be making it through to the business conference in 2018. First up, I have with me from Bombay Express, Rayhan Uddin. Rayhan Uddin, well done. Congratulations for coming this far. You do have 60 seconds in this... 60 seconds, yep, cool. In this segment. However, you will all get an opportunity to come back on stage, and the panel judges and the special judges may have some questions for you to elaborate about your restaurant. Are you ready?
Always.
It's all about cost savings and revenue increase. Your time starts now.
So we implemented a loyalty scheme for our staff. It's called Perk Box. They're entitled to 200 benefits and more. What we did decide to do is also that we put together within our restaurant a way for our customers to give us feedback, and that is through the swiping mechanism as well. Not only is it rewards, it allows us to get feedback. For the retention of profitability and looking clearly at the profit margins, we looked at a plated service where we could actually monitor exactly how much much was going into every service. The weight of a lamb is also calculated, as well as the produce being cut and prepped and brought in, so we know exactly how much we're spending. 1.2 to 1 kilograms of weight is the bone in a lamb leg. So you've got to understand, actual net weight is what you buy and use, and that the kilograms of bone are things that you're throwing money in the bin. So don't do it. That's what we do at the Bombay Express. We also take our staff out for lunch once a month to implement bonding between the team, and also presenting our staff with the ways and means and product knowledge. With a British front of house, we've got our work cut out for us, but our training schemes makes that easy. So the way in which we increase GDP is looking clearly at the ways that we are going to monitor how much we spend on our raw costs, and then developing that and looking at the profit margin and looking at profit.
I'm going to let you finish this, yeah?
Saving is your profit.
Excellent. That was good. Thank you very much. That was Bombay Express. Next up, Spice Hut, Mr. Walio Rahman Chaudhry. And your time starts now.
Thank you. This is saving আমি মনে করি যে বিশেষ করে electricity, we always use the low bulb energy, the LED, and dishwasher, especially dish water on bill, যাতে ওয়াটার বিল অনেক সেভ হয়। আর বিশেষ করে বাইং, আমি পার্সোনালি আমি নিজে যাই, আমার ব্যান আছে, নিজে যাই শপিং করি, বিশেষ করে ভেজিটেবল ক্যাশ অ্যান্ড কারি, স্পাইস, এভরিথিং আমি নিজে যাই শপিং করি, যার জন্য আমার মনে হয় অনেক টাকা আমি এখানে সেভ করতে পারি। সেকেন্ডলি, স্টাফের ব্যাপারটা, যে ওয়াইজেস, তাদেরকে আমি এখানে আমি তাদের বেলায় সেভিংয়ের জিনিসটা চিন্তা করি না, তাদের হ্যাপিনেসটা আমি চিন্তা করি। ওরা যদি হ্যাপি থাকে, বিশেষ করে ওয়াইজেসের বেলায়, তারা কাজ করতে দ্বিধাবোধ করে না, অলওয়েজ তারা হ্যাপি ফেস। এবং যখনই মানুষের, বিশেষ করে শেফের মুড ভালো থাকে, সে কুকিং করতে কনসেন্ট্রেট করে, এবং বিশেষ করে খাবারটা কুইক আসে, কাস্টমার অলওয়েজ লাইক করে।
I'm going to let you finish this, yeah? No, finish your sentence.
And লাস্টে আমি বলবো যে বিশেষ করে লোকাল যে অর্গানাইজেশন আছে, ফুটবল টিম, লোকাল পেপার, ক্রিকেট টিম অ্যান্ড চ্যারিটি অর্গানাইজার, ওদের অকেশনালি আমি তাদেরকে ইনভাইট করি রেস্টুরেন্টে, এবং পিকচারটা আমি লোকাল পেপারে ফোকাস দিই, যার জন্য অনেক সময় এটা গুড অ্যাডভার্টাইজ হয়।
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. I'm going to try and summarise this as best as I can, and I will also ask our judges to help me out. So, Mr. Chaudhry mentioned that he likes to go shopping himself for his business because he feels that he is able to cost save there, because he can really pick the vegetables and the meat that he wants for his restaurant, and it's his business, so he can utilize his budget correctly. With regards, he also he tries to save money around lights by using energy saving, bulbs, etc. He also mentioned about wages. He actually said with regards to wages, it's not about saving money, it's about keeping his staff members very happy, because it's important that his staff members are happy, because if his staff members are happy, then customers are happy to come to the restaurant, because they will see the happy environment and receive great customer service. And lastly, he also mentioned that with his local charities and organisations, he likes to actually go out there and meet them and greet them and bring them back to give them some complimentary dinners and take pictures with them and talk about their efforts that they are doing within the community and share it in his restaurant. Have I missed anything? No. There you are. Can I get a round of applause for that?
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam.
My name is Naz Haq from Rajput in Essex, South End.
Thank you for doing my introduction.
Any business, food waste control is the main things for the business.
Your time starts now.
Okay. Food cost controlling is the main things for the business, wastage, basically. So I prefer cooking the right portion on the right day, and basically very simplified my menu. And also I introduced to my restaurant everyday special, which gives enough opportunities to save the stock, basically. So chef doesn't have to go through the whole menu to cook everything, this, that, and that. If it's a Tuesday special, customer focus on that. So we sell lot of this product. Also, as everybody sitting here, I'm sure everybody will agree with me. In our Indian restaurant, basically, we hardly get any customer in lunchtime. So I decided to shut my restaurant and we do an evening only, which save a lot of money for the staff, including staff and other things like bills and things. Also the timing. We've been using like 12 o'clock, 11:30.
I'll let you finish this sentence.
Yes. Next thing is the revenue. As the Christmas come in, I've been marketing throughout the newspaper, locally newspaper, Facebook, Instagram and everything. Also, I joined with a lot of my local school who is doing Christmas bazaar, and I'm promoting my restaurant through there as well.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Naz. And last but not least, Taj Tandoori, Jalal Saeed, and Aminul Saeed. '60 seconds, and your time starts now.
Thank you. In regards to increased sales, we emphasize quite heavily on upselling because we believe the products we have are second to none. So, you know, all of our staff work very hard to ensure that they upsell our products. By having the EPOS system, we're able to identify who our top performers are, and we always make sure that you know that they're rewarded accordingly.
Yeah, and also with regards to suppliers, it's really important to have a good relationship with our suppliers, and that's something that we have. And because of that, I was able to source like cheap prices elsewhere and then negotiate them same prices with our current suppliers. And also another thing we did was like we found that we used the whole piece of chicken. Like we created a dish like us called the staff curry, where we put like the boned leg and the thigh into that and use that there, and then we got the chicken breasts used in the traditional curry. So we tried to then get the wings and try and create a stock or something. So we used all of the meat to be able to save some costs that way, and this is something that worked quite well for us as well. So.
Excellent, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could request you both to please stay on stage, and if I could request the remaining 3 participants to please come on stage and join Aminul and Jalal. For our audience that are watching at home, don't forget you can also take part and be a part of this questioning section where you can tweet in your questions at Catering Circle. This is where the panel judges and the special judges get to ask any questions that you would like, that's burning you right now and you really, really need to ask the participants. However, may I please add, you can only ask 1 question per contestant. So think carefully when you're asking those questions. So 1 question per contestant. I'll start with our judges. Okay. So 1 question per contestant, because I know you're cheeky. You're going to ask them all. You can't do that. It's 1 question per contestant.
Okay, Rehanuddin.
Thank you.
Could
You're
you come?
from West Country.
Yes, your area.
Yeah. So do you open lunchtime in evening?
We don't open lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Evening up to what time?
So we open from 5 to 11.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you so much. We have Abdul Bangura who has a question. Who do you have a question for?
I have an open question for anyone, if that's okay. What is the best way and most effective way that you've saved cost and money in terms of keeping customer relations? And that's for anyone who decides to step forward first.
Can I ask you to choose someone, please?
I choose you guys.
Okay, so Jalal and Aminul.
Okay, could you repeat the question again so I can understand it better?
What's the most effective way?
Answer better.
What's the most effective way you saved money in terms of keeping customer relations and customer retention?
Yeah, to be fair, the best way we've been able to save money is by basically providing our customers with the best quality of meats and service. And what happens because of that is those customers know that they're getting the best quality, and what ends up happening is they end up telling their friends who end up coming to the business as well. So what happens is, you know, it helps to build the repeat business, and the cost saving that comes in.
Yeah, and another thing we like to promote with our employees is a culture of like you know, when your customers are coming, just treat them like guests in your own
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
And by doing
Excellent.
that doesn't really cost much to teach that to us, and that then, if that goes on to all our staff doing that to the customers, they then come back thinking, right, I've really been looked after. Try and teach them to know their customers on first name basis. So when they come in with like friends that have come from out of town, you can be like, oh, hi John, how you doing?
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
feels really great because he's just walked in with a few people and they're like, oh look, he knows them on first name basis and stuff, and that works really well. And things like that don't actually cost us any more money, but it just takes a bit of leadership from us to teach our staff to do that if we're not there. So because you
Thank
can't be
you.
there or there.
Thank you very much. No, it's fine. David, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to ask Bombay Express, actually. It seems to me from your presentation you're creating a very different, innovative brand.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, correct.
Your dress is part of that brand?
Of course it is. This is the British Asian flag that I created.
Okay. The name Bombay Express is very old-fashioned.
It is indeed.
But
There's
you're
a reason
creating
behind
a
that.
very... There's a reason.
There is a reason.
Well, I'd like to know the reason,
course.
because you're very innovative, you're very forward-thinking.
Thank you.
And I'd like to know how that fits in with your medium and long-term marketing strategy.
Fantastic. So the Bombay Express is a 21-year established business. I took it over 11 years ago. Within the restaurant, within the town itself of Torquay, synonymous. To change the name and rebrand and re-establish myself, I've owned it for 11 years. I'm 32 now. So you can imagine starting at a young age. At first, I had a train track sort of sign out the front, which was 3D imposed. We changed that now to a more modern sign, and it's more so encompassing with the modern trends of British Indian cuisine in the way that I see it in this current time.
Yeah.
Contemporary, and also the restaurant follows suit within that as well. So it's not your velvet curtain floral carpet restaurant. It's very modern and very forward thinking in terms of the ways that we have signature names for our cocktails, like the Indian kitchen fitter and the coconut tree climber. So these things
Excellent.
are... Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to let you
Okay,
stop,
cool.
sorry, because we are running out of time. And I know there's a few burning questions from the special judges. A quick one,
Yes,
please.
could I have a quick question with Jalal Said, the Taj Tandoori? Sorry to pick on you again. My question to you is this task is about cost saving and revenue increase. And you have not been selling alcohol since 2009.
Yes.
Have you worked out how much revenue you've lost in those years, 8 years? And secondly, how do you expect to increase the revenue of your food?
So yeah, like I said, we did say that there was probably about a 30% turnover that we did lose out on, probably from the alcohol takings that were there previously. So that was something that was calculated, but due to religious beliefs and other personal reasons, we kind of balanced that out. But like I said, we always tried to stick to this 65-70% profit margin, which was enough for us to be making a decent standard of living, make a decent amount of money that kept us there. And like I said, we were looking at things to do, like these specialty dishes that we created. We could actually put the prices up quite high in an area where we were, so we knew that we were able to make good profit and be charging good prices for good quality food. And that is something, with the blessing of God, that's kept us afloat.
Basically, when we were selling alcohol, we were mostly selling Madras and Boonas and Kormas. And after, when we introduced the BOY policy, people realised they're saving roughly 30% of the bills. Hence, they were, like Jalal was saying, going for the more exotic, expensive dishes and desserts.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I am really sorry. I know Anamia has a question.
Just one question.
You're going to kill me. My producers are going
No,
to
I'm
kill
sure he
me.
won't.
I know Benji has a question as well. Okay, I'll let you have this.
There's a quick
one last
question for Mr. Najmul Haq Naz. On your, you mentioned that you do customer loyalty. Are you using modern technologies to entice your customers and to promote your business? And if you are, and how are you doing it, please?
Yes, the loyalty card, which designed by my logo and ourselves, not buying from like Tester card or any other card. And we do have a unique code. When every time customer come in, we touch it. So it's give us to tell how many points and how many times he visited.
Excellent.
Do you provide free Wi-Fi in your premises for your customers?
Naughty,
Yes, free
Mr.
Wi-Fi.
Mia. Very naughty.
Of course.
Very, very
Of course,
naughty.
you are most welcome.
I know Benji's been asking me to ask one burning question. My producers are going to kill me, but quick one.
Okay, this one is for Bombay Express again. Being
Popular.
so innovative in your business, how do you ensure consistency with results throughout the business itself, and obviously ensuring that your staff are always performing by being so innovative.
I'm a quick talker.
30
So basically what we've done was within the kitchen, we created a very streamlined flow. So everything is done to the measurement, precisely how it is done every time. In the front of the house as well, streamlined flow yet again. We go from table to table. The training manual is so simple. It's an ABC module. That's it. It's very simple for a reason. Don't get it wrong. Maintain consistency and follow through with everything. Marketing all the way through. Aaron.
Thank you so much. Well done on that. Thank you very, very much. I'm really, really sorry. We have actually run out of time. I know some of the judges have some questions, but I do have the votes right here in front of me. I'm going to give it 10 seconds to just load, and there we are. We have it right here in front of me. So are you ready? Excellent. And just a quick reminder for those that didn't know or missed it, our panel judges held 60% of the votes and our special judges held 40% of the votes. And today we will be taking through only 2 of the restaurants to the business conference in 2018. And the results are the 2 that are making it through to next year's business conference are Bombay Express and Taj Tandoori. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. There you are. Congratulations. Well done. I'm going to ask the winners to please come and say a few words. So if I could start with Bombay Express. I'm going to ask the judges to just wait. We are doing a live telecast right here.
They're one.
Bombay Express, what would you like to say?
Okay, so thank you to everyone who came out, especially to all the Asian Restaurant Owners Network members. Thank you. And hashtag Asian Textile is the new hashtag for the youth, the new generation that are coming through, whether you're in hospitality, science, arts, or sports. So gravitate to the website, which launches this week on Friday. Also, I'd like to say thank you to all the Bombay Express customers, everybody, including the judges. Samanana, you are an inspiration. Thank you very much for all that you do. And also, thank you, Nali, for being a great host. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's event and as much as I have. So thank you ever so much. Look forward to seeing you in March.
Congratulations. And last but not least, Double Trouble.
Just thank you very much all. Just remember Saeed Brothers, Taj Tandoori, Cambridge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much for coming onto the show today. And again, congratulations. You guys were absolutely brilliant. Thank you to our judges. It's been great having you all on today, and you guys have been absolutely amazing. It is time for me to sign out now. Nadia Ali, your host for this evening for the Catering Circle. We will be back again on the 7th of November, and it's all about financial planning. And this is what the schedule will look like. Take care for now.
Thank you.